to the lowest. Today, our threats are in each possible part of the spectrum. And to function better as a force, there is a requirement of ensuring that we are networked. There is a requirement to ensure that our links are secure. There is a requirement to ensure that we can ensure situational awareness at all possible levels so that we can achieve the best possible result in any situation. And therefore is the importance of DEFCON 2010 in discussing issues which will impact us as a force. We are aware that things are changing from a platform-based or platform-centric warfare to network-centric warfare. And networks, whether they are human or communication, ensure that there is a greater amount of synergy between the various levels and between the various ingredients of a force. Whether these networks function like the Al-Qaeda does, or these networks function in a military force in bringing together all possible means that the force has at its disposal to achieve the best possible result is what we look for as an armed force. And therefore, a robust, secure information grid is a prerequisite for such a capability that we are looking for. The information grid that we are looking for works as a force multiplier because it is able to feed the various parts of the force in the shortest possible time. It is also able to pass the requisite information which is needed for decision making and convey those decisions to the various components at the fastest and in the most secure manner. And it will allow us to achieve information superiority, which will lead to dominance over the battlefield in the entire spectrum of war. Therefore, we look forward to this seminar in which a lot of things will be discussed, a lot of useful issues will be brought out, and I'm quite sure that we will be able to profit a great deal in ensuring that our transformation is able to gain from the discussions that take place as part of this seminar. The transformation process in any armed force takes time, and changes are generally resisted. Therefore, it is important that when we look at transformation and changes, we look at how we are able to achieve the least possible disruption in what we have and what we want to achieve, and achieve what is our aim in a manner that it causes least amount of disturbance to the mindsets that prevail. The fundamental impact of what we are going to discuss as part of the seminar would be on certain organizational structures, on how the training for the future would be carried out, what kind of logistical support would be needed, and what kind of infrastructure would be needed to support all this. And therefore, it is an apt subject that has been chosen, and we are looking forward to greater amount of industry participation in the various issues that will come out so that we can in-house create structures that are needed by the armed forces. I compliment the SONC and the signals for choosing this apt subject, and also the CII and the private industry which has come forward along with people from the research and development organization so that we can achieve our results in a short possible time. We can attain the aim of transformation that we have laid for ourselves, and we can ensure that infusion of technology becomes a force multiplier for the force that we are looking at. I once again compliment all who are attending this and all who have come here to spare their time, to share their views, to present their papers, and to take part in the seminar. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
We all know that the defense procurement procedures are evolving, and a definite role for the Indian industry in defense procurement is emerging concurrently with the role of defense public sector undertakings. The armed forces, however, will remain a demanding customer, both quantitatively and qualitatively. That is why I would like the Indian industry to step in to be competitive and strive at one, qualitative indigenous competence and self-reliance in design and development of military hardware and software, which includes embedded components. Two, a meaningful R&D structure leveraging on the technical knowledge and competence of our internationally acclaimed IT capabilities. Three, to bring about synergy among various agencies to achieve the shared goal of indigenization and self-reliance. You must also productionize equipment that meets A, stringent military standards and provide evidence that the equipment will operate to lay down specifications in the environmental conditions it is likely to face during its useful life. Defense equipment manufacturers and development agencies cannot leave mission critical performance to chance and must therefore set up state-of-the-art testing facilities for quality assurance. B, effectively meet the current and futuristic needs of our services to enable them to address the complexity and interdependency of converged connectivity and networking of modern weapon systems, thus contributing to enhancement of the operational capabilities and the combat readiness of our armed forces. India is fast developing into an international manufacturing hub with proven skills in design, creativity, and quality. The Indian industry has also productionized quality equipment and security procedures of international standards, which qualify them for assuring greater responsibility in defense production. In order to synergize and enhance the national competence in producing globally competitive defense equipment without time and cost overruns, the government is exploring all viable initiatives such as formation of consortia, joint ventures, and public-private partnerships. The private sector has distinct strengths in information and communication technologies. Since the armed forces are on the threshold of an exciting new era of net centricity, in which they hope to network all sensors, shooters, and commanders on converged infrastructures. They expect substantial participation by the private sector. While accepting the necessity, we must appreciate that providing connectivity for strategic and tactical networks is a challenge, as dispersed forces operate over large geographical areas with diversities in terrain, weather, local conditions, and operational uncertainties. Parallelly, I would urge the services to take cognizance of the inherent capabilities in the private sector and to effectively leverage on them towards meeting our objectives. Military networks are large and more complex than ever before and are becoming increasingly mission critical under the emerging doctrine of network-centric operations. The proliferation of networks has also brought in its wake new threats and challenges. Cybersecurity has become an area of great concern and importance. A need therefore exists to find effective ways to protect and defend information and information systems by ensuring their availability, integrity, and confidentiality. A challenging objective even with the most advanced technology and trained professionals. Hence, the networks have to be designed ab initio to provide foolproof security and resilience, both to guard against leakage of information as well as prevention of disabling attacks on these networks. I am sure this important aspect is being given due emphasis in the ensuing discussions. While the desire of the ICT industry and the military for smaller and lighter equipment covering more bands and carrying more voice and data than the last generation of communication networking elements is understandable, there is also a need to factor in existing and legacy systems which must be supported and integrated with the modern designs and concepts which must facilitate interoperability with the legacy military systems and complementary products of other manufacturers. An endeavor has to be made by the Indian industry to focus on core technologies and be geared up to provide lifetime support to equipment and upgradation of technologies. While doing so, they should be capable enough to do so without having to depend on the OEMs or technology providers. Our industry is mature enough to take on this task with indigenous resources and efforts. I am sure that our industry will be able to take this challenge, which will be very assuring to the armed forces in their endeavor for modernization and self-reliance. I would like to state that it shall be the endeavor of government for ensuring and facilitating greater private sector participation in defense production. Finally, I wish all of you success in your deliberations and all future ventures which involve issues of national security with special reference to communications and net centricity. Thank you and Jai Hind.